Hello, welcome back. I'm Tonya from Tonya's Witchy Kitchen, and how are you doing today? So, you know the movie Horton Hears a Who? Dr. Seuss show, movie, book, okay? And Horton's an elephant, and he has a flower. Is it a dandelion? I can't remember what the flower is. It looks like a puff dandelion, but I don't think it is. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie. But you know, and he's trying to convince people that there are people on this speck, or on this flower, that are real, and they're just like, So, long story short, I found myself in church on a very quiet evening, and I'm sitting there, and I just felt so despondent. So, I think they call it spiritually dry, right? So I was sitting there, and I'm just like, and that movie came to mind, and I was just like, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, because that's what they shout. I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. I'm in your house, Lord. I'm trying to, do your will and give you praise and thank you for all the blessings and, all the stuff. When it hit my mind, I am here, I am here, I am here. Do you see me? Do you hear me? And it was just like, peace. The weirdest feeling I've ever felt. It was just like peace. Just everything calmed. Like an abyss. Just nothing. And I was like, he does hear me. Even when I don't deserve to be heard. Even when I don't deserve it. Yes. Just a little for you, if you're having a bad week and things are chaotic like they always are. It just seems like this is our world, utter chaos. And because it's crazy. But anyway, today we are starting Wildflowers and Bees. I'm so excited. Can't wait to do this. I've been waiting for so many weeks. They've been done, and I'm just like, come on. But I couldn't start it till now. So that's what we're doing today. 3 things. Be kind, be forgiving, be you. Just be you. You're beautiful the way you are. God made you exactly how he wanted you. So be you, and let's go check out the first video in Wildflowers and Bees. I know I've told you how my soap oils solidify, and I wanted to show you this. This is at room temperature, you guys. Room temp. Yes. So it's not always a good thing. So to my lye water, I'm adding a little bit. I'm adding half of my alcohol from my grapefruit shandy. Why to the lye water? Just because sometimes I feel if I do a 1-to-1 ratio, of water and lye, I'm just worried that it's not going to totally be dissolved. You know what I mean? Even though it looks dissolved, it's sat there for how long? I always worry about it. So either I will, make sure it's not 1-to-1, or add a little bit of my extra liquid. So this is the first soap in the Wildflowers and Bees collection. And why? I've been to vendor shows, and there is always this one person who asks me if I have sweet pea fragrance oil or a soap, And I never could find one that was phthalate free. And Aztec Candle Company has one that's phthalate free. Smells amazing out of the bottle. Absolutely amazing. And so I decided that I was going to do a soap, and I was going to use my grapefruit shandy that has been sitting on my desk for how long? You can see it in tons of videos because I'm like, I'm going to use this, and I didn't, and then, here we are. So this soap just has a very simple design to it. I had high hopes for this. I will tell you, the fragrance oil does, it sticks. It just mellows out. So there's this bright, vibrant note in the sweet pea. I can't say it's sweet, but it's very vibrant. And those are the notes that usually fall out in cold process soap. If you've ever tried Pink Sangria by Wholesale Supplies Plus, beautiful fragrance, but changes in the soaping process. Okay, so kind of like the sweet pea. It is very nice, but it does mellow out. I use the maximum usage I could, just because I was afraid of that. But still a good smelling soap if you like soap on the lighter side, which is fine, you know. As you can see, we are getting a chunky batter, but there was also a reason that I was using the grapefruit shandy in this one, because I wanted a chunky batter because I'm doing layers. And I wanted, I can't say nice layers, but I wanted solid layers. You'll see. Okay, so enough about the fragrance oil. I am using Lush Green from Mad Micah's. I think it's Mad Micah's, you guys. And Magenta from Nurture's Homemade. Both of those, to tone them down a little bit, have a little bit of snowflake mica in them. Not titanium dioxide, snowflake mica. I wanted to see if I could get a little more sparkle, but I don't really think it did. I don't think so. And then I wanted the titanium dioxide in the rest of the batter. As you can see, I am mixing it up, having so much fun. Was the grapefruit shandy, did it set out? No. No, it did not. I actually just cracked it before I poured it into the lye water. It wasn't cold or anything, but, you know. So you don't have to let the alcohol evaporate. It does help if you want a more fluid soap that's not going to heat up quite so fast. But like I said, I have layers planned, so I didn't care one way or the other. Now the soap pour is very similar to Fuzzy Winter, where there's 3 sections of white, and then it's all one layer of pink and all one layer of green with a hanger. So I'm going to show you that. So it's 1/3 of the weight, which was, did I even write it down? Which is odd. Divided by 5 colors. 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah, so it's the batter divided by 5, and then 3 parts are white, and the other parts are, you know how to do parts, right? It always amazes me how people don't understand things. I can't tell you who this is, but my daughter was talking about somebody that is on a board, and they were supposed to go over some information, and you know how you have points for everything, and this person didn't know how to average the person's points. You know, like let's say, you know, I don't know, like a score. You know, like somebody gave him 10, somebody gave him 10 and 10, so you have 30, but they didn't understand how the average worked. You know, I mean, maybe it was 10, 9, and 8, you know, but still did not understand how to find averages. And I'm like, oh, like, you know, they're old enough to where it should have been taught. I mean, I'm assuming my grandson knows how to do averages. And I'm just like, you know, some things are so important. And when people say, oh, you're never going to use this, never say never. Because sometimes you will use those little tips and tricks that you did learn in school. But Google and AI have really taken over that whole thing. Have you seen that AI, now it says, you know, check your facts because AI could be wrong? AI admits it's wrong. Google never admits it's wrong. It's like Wikipedia all over again. Oh, crazy. Yep. But so this is just how I did the soap. In the layers, like Fuzzy Winter, and then, I forgot, I was doing a hanger swirl. So it's not really a swirl, it's the jagged up and down, right? Vertical, up and down on both sides because I still don't have a hanger for this mold, which is kind of crazy actually, but that's okay. And then I will finish it off by plopping the little tiny bits that are in the pail on top. It's always fun to sculpt the top. So yeah, so technically it's a very simple soap pour with, and like I said, this was a good one to use the grapefruit shandy in because I knew it was going to accelerate my soap batter and I would get some nice easy layers out of it. Here is just a little more snowflake mica. It might have toned down the pink a little bit, but I don't know. You're supposed to be able to use it as a white, but there's white mica, but I don't know how effective it is. White mica versus titanium dioxide. I've never done testing. I don't really feel like I want to test it out. But here is just some eco glitter on top, also to give it a little pizzazz. It amazes me how many people put so much, like tons of glitter on the top of their soap bars. Very pretty. I am not knocking it at all. It's so pretty, but very inexpensive too. So I just like my little eco glitter, and then for the top, sculpting it with a knife because it is so thick and chunky. I will get better swirlage with the knife. And now to the cut of the soap. Look at that nice solid hard bar. A little bit of bubbles on the one side. Air bubbles, most likely just from, the layers and the swirls, but very, very pretty. I love the colors. I do love the colors. Ta-da! Yeah, and the layers. Like I said, it's a lot like Fuzzy Winter, if you remember that one. That's a whole nother boat of stories, but yeah, but sometimes people don't like my introductions. I've noticed that when you look and see what people actually watch, but I guess it's to each their own, and that's what, I do my videos like I do my videos, and my intros are my intros, and if you don't want to hear about it and you don't want to hear about me talking about my conversations with God, I guess that's okay. You don't have to. You can speed through them. But if you want to and you want some inspiration, there's a thing Matthew Kelly says, and it's don't give up. Don't stop praying. Don't give up. Even when it's hard, even when you're tired, even when you're not getting anywhere, even when it's the most difficult thing that you do in your day, don't stop and don't give up, because he is out there, he is listening, but his time is perfect. It's his will, not our will. But anyway, how do you like these soaps? Tell me about it. I love them. Here they are when they're cured. They're a little darker. Isn't that neat? And as always, I hope you had a good time. Thank you for dropping by, and I will see you next time. God bless.